Morning, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members. My name is Rosette Natmanya. I'm the Deputy Director, Human Resource at Kcca.
Good morning, Chair and Honorable Members. My name is Sheila Birungi Gandhi, Director, Gender, Community Services and Production.
Tiberonda or Tiberondwa? Oh, so not the one we knew. No, don't sit. How are you related to him? So for you are related to him that way. No, he had a good name. You know, we were the contemporaries. Adonia. Okay, proceed. Sorry? Mugaba? Boo. Okay.
Chairman, this is the first Mutoro I've seen without a pet name. Nyakaisiki. Yeah, that makes complete.
Not necessarily Mtoro, could be a Mnyoro.
Even Banyoro have.
No, but you said Mtoro. Now you know the Mpako, you will tell her yours.
Eyanga Kiki.
I thought our kikis look better than that.
Don't I?
Proceed. You don't look better than that. Next. Since when? Since December. And you know the provisions in the public service standing orders. You know that you would not act for more than 6 months. Do you know that? Do you know? So who appointed you to act? Sorry? Yes? That's a good one. But tell us about the acting one. Who appointed you? Is someone standing in for Director Human Resource, I heard? Yes, you are somewhere. Tell us, why is he acting beyond the statutory period? Why are you exploiting him? Because I know you're not paying him for acting, are you?
No.
Why are you exploiting him?
He's not acting, but he was assigned duties.
Is assignment provided for under the law?
Yes.
That you are assigned permanently?
No.
You can only be assigned responsibilities, not an office.
That's why I'm saying he was assigned responsibilities and duties.
And you're not paying him?
No.
We are going to interrogate it during this session. You know, I am a human rights lawyer, not activist. That is for you. And a labor law practitioner for over 2 decades. So a combination of the two and finding me seated here would not allow you to exploit a citizen. I'm going to be your lawyer during this session. Let's hear the next.
Thank you, Chair. And honorable members, my name is Emmanuel Gabla. I'm a supervisor projects coordination at Kcca.
Okay.
Good morning, Chair and honorable members. My name is Nakawombe Nabila, accountant.
Nakawombe who?
Nabila.
Nabila, okay.
Yes, accountant, Kcca.
Next.
Good morning, Chair and honorable members. My name is Gloria Naraniko. I'm an officer of financial reporting.
Is that all? Okay. You're welcome, colleagues from Kcca. We received a copy of the letter from the director, executive director, Ms. Sharifa Buzeki, about today's meeting, and that she will be away on official duty and hereby nominates Mr. Benon Moses Chigenyi, the Deputy Executive Director, to represent the Executive Director at the interface of Park Cosase scheduled to take place today, 1st August. You can be contacted on that email and telephone contact. We did not have to contact you. By copy, Benon Moses Chigenyi was accordingly informed. Yes. I saw somebody shaking his head without hair. Who was that?
Chair, good morning, colleagues and our guests. My name is Itungo Nathan. I'm a member of Parliament for Kashar South in Imbara District and a member of this committee. Chair, I wanted to raise a point of procedure from your communication. That according to Article 163 of the Constitution, matters of accountability are not delegatable. So I don't know, through your wise guidance, whether we can proceed without the accounting officer who has given money and spent the money. Because the rules are simple, that if you cannot account, then you cannot spend. So we need your guidance, Mr. Chairman.
I see. I do not read the same words in the Constitution. You can have it and help me. Please help the member.
Chair, it is Article 164 specifically B. B. No, two. It says any person holding a political or public office who directs or concurs in the use of public funds contrary to the existing instructions shall be accountable for any loss arising from the use and shall be required to make good loss even if he or she has ceased to hold the office.
Could you also look at the Auditor General's report and guide me on how much money has been lost in Ms. Buzeki's hands?
Mr. Chairman, from my auditing knowledge, if the Auditor General was satisfied with the expenditure, then some of these queries will not be raised.
I guess what you would read from the word who has been found connotes a process to arrive at that finding. We may make that finding even when Miss Buzeki, I hope she's Miss or Mrs. Buzeki, cannot be found to have misused or lost before we go through the process. But even in her absence, where she has not attended by her own will, not that we did not invite her, we can still make findings against her. That's number one. Number two, we are going to interrogate and make findings. I want to assume that Mr. Benon Chigenyi, as Deputy Director, will answer the questions we ask. Your reference to Article 164 would actually now be applying to Mrs. Kcca. If we find issues about Mrs. Kcca, we shall invite her. In fact, I think it was a mistake on our part by the clerk not asking Mrs. Buzeki to come with Kcca. The Article 164.2 would only refer to Mrs. Kcca if we have to make findings against her. If we reach a point and somebody says, oh, it should have been Ms. Kcca to answer that, we shall make a note on that and invite her. I thought you asked me to guide you, which I'm doing.
You see, Mr. Chairman.
Would you switch off that microphone and receive guidance?
Chair, why I was raising this issue, I was not seeing Ms. Kcca here.
Please receive my guidance. I have reached Mrs. Kcca, where we get, the accounting officer is the person in the office. Ms. Kcca would only be invited in the capacity of a former accounting officer, where we find that these people are not able to explain. Like I have said, I think by our clerk not having instructed that Mrs. Kcca comes along was on our part. But where we find that, yes, we need her, we will invite her. We cannot make a finding against her without hearing her. Thank you very much for understanding my guidance. I'm continuing with my communication.
Yeah.
On a procedure matter?
Yes, Chair. On your communication to give comfort to Honorable Itungo. The beauty is that the former accounting officer was acting ED is here with us, Mr. Lusa. Mr. Lusa. So Dr. Lusa is here, so let him not worry so much. He's here.
Mr. Frank Rusa, I am sure that is sufficient notice. You are put to that at some point you may be called upon to make some explanation. Yes, this is not a trial. You would advise Ms. Buzeki, because I know she's new in this office, in future, apart from an invitation by the President of the Republic, the Vice President of the Republic, the Speaker or Deputy, and Court, we shall take precedence. You understand, sir? The other that will take precedence is death or grave illness. And by grave illness, I mean inability to be here, especially physical. Mental, we can deal with it from here. The rest, she should not do it again. Okay? That's number one. Number two, when we invite you in future, and you know that certain things happened before your tenure and you're not in a position to explain them, you come with that person as guided from Kashari. By the way, some people in Kashari know how to read the Constitution. And are you not one of them?
Order, Mr. Chairman.
You are ruled out of order since you want order. So as guided from Kashari, even a person who has ceased to hold office, including the former acting executive director, can still be required to be here. That said, we shall begin. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, once again. Chair, in the last meeting, we had the Lord Mayor here.
Yes.
And we had agreed that we should move as a team. I don't see the Lord Mayor here. I don't know whether you have information about the Lord Mayor before we proceed.
Well, he's not here. It was adjourned in his presence, right? At his behest and request, we are proceeding. I don't need him. He needs to be here by himself. It is up to him. So why do I have to waste my resources to look for him? Now, supposing I send them for him and then need arises during the proceedings for their services. Okay, we will begin. Mr. Shigenyi, why did you have to submit responses this morning?
Mr. Chairman, at our last interface with this committee, the Lord Mayor intimated that he needed to be part of the responses, and we were tasked to go and find consensus. We did that, and they thought that we needed to enhance our responses in view of our interaction with the Lord Mayor. And this morning, we presented those responses knowing that the Lord Mayor...
Did it have to be this morning so that we do not read through them?
We only finished the consensus building last evening.
Okay. Do you know now how you are affecting everybody's input and service to the country by squabbling all the time that working together must be a directive from Parliament? I thought working together should be a directive and dictate of common sense and law. In future, learn to work together. Our finding last time in this report about Kcca was partly contributed to by lack of cohesion at the authority. That you could make communications involving budget and the owner of the budget legally is kept out of the loop. So please help this country and this city. For me, I'm not staying in your city, I'm a visitor. I just come in and go. But it is our capital city. You cannot run it without moving together, with one office undermining the other. And this is not to say yours undermines the other. It could be either way. It is simple advice from an old man.
Thank you for the advice, Mr. Chairman, Honorable Chairman. And
Yep.
I must confirm that we are in unison. We have not found reason to be at cross purpose.
I have established as a matter of fact before, and it is in this report, unless you're challenging my authority here, that you were not working in unison. If you have started, I have reason to celebrate that new union. We will now move to the Auditor General's report, colleagues, one by one. Let's look at page 1 of the Auditor General's report. Capitalization of all historical non-current assets. Are you there, sir? This, the Auditor General applauds you upon the skyrocketing progress and increment in these assets from 250 billion to 12.79 trillion. Isn't this reason for us to celebrate?
Honorable Chairman, may I also, before I specifically answer this query and those that are following, state that Hajat Sharif and I have only been at the authority since January, following the 111 days of our colleague Frank Rusa. But even with this, we are aware, fully aware, that there is a seal of continuous liability, and we have immersed ourselves in the issues of the authority, past and present, and we are comforted by the team, and that is why we have this big team appearing.
I know you intended to scare me with the big team, but my team will handle.
No,
yes, no worries.
It is for the fact that should I find myself low, they should lift me, certainly.
Absolutely within your power. It was a simple question and there's nothing hidden in it. We have reason to celebrate, right?
Thank you. Honorable Chair and members, there was a change in the accounting system that required all assets to be recognized and valued. Previously, some assets which we had taken for granted gotten on board. This includes, Mr. Chairman, roads, bridges, and other assets whose value, when entered in the assets register of the IFMS, enhanced our portfolio to 12.7 trillion. Indeed, we celebrate now to know that we are at this worth.
That worth. I think, so it means that at some point when we are looking for assets of Kcca, we can as well attach those ones. Let me take you to page 58. Yes, I think we are aware of the change in accounting system. Did those assets include land?
Yes, they do.
Those that you were not recognizing. You mean in the previous accounting system, land would not be recognized as an asset?
It would be.
It would be what? Omitted or included?
The issue is the value.
No, would it be included or omitted?
It would be included.
Would it be valued or not?
It should have been valued.
Okay, let's look at page 58. Land valued. That's of your financial statements. Opening balance as at 1st July 2023. And the costs attached. Land was 0. Could it be possible that your land was valued at 0 shillings? Because this is a valuation in shillings. So minus bridges and roads, your land would attract 0 shilling?
The effect of the financial transaction began in June 2024.
Statement. No, I mean, not transaction, but system.
Financial system. The IFM, recognizing them in the IFMS began in June 2024. At that time, we had not entered land assets on the IFMS, and that is the reason they have a nil value.
That is as at June 20?
July 2023, at the beginning of that financial year.
Okay. When was the last time you valued land before this?
Before
this last valuation under the new system. Previously, were you valuing it? Because you know that one is a requirement, statutory. That when you're valuing, you value your assets, including land. You may not have it here, but you would value it separately. You may not have it on the system.
I should be advised.
Director Legal and former acting executive director. And of course, Mr.
Treasurer, YV.
Treasurer.
Yes.
Historically, I was informed that the last valuation of land was in 2012. That's when they had the last evaluation of land. But now, on the first adoption of the assets on the IFMS, this is the reclassification was made to ensure that land is separated from plant, equipment, buildings, and the like for the first time. Formerly, they were putting it together with the land and buildings. So that is why we are seeing a 0. It is because of the risk classification during the first adoption of this new system of the asset module.
Okay, but separately, you can give us a list of your property and the attached valuations, right?
So we can.
Yeah, let's have that. Today is Friday. Can we have that on Monday by close of business?
Okay, sure.
Our colleagues on this? It is clear. Okay, thank you very much. I have represented my team well, I guess. It's not a very big issue. Outstanding domestic arrears. Let's look at page 2 of the Auditor General's report. I can give your team time to reorganize yourselves. Lord Mayor and Deputy Lord Mayor, you're welcome. we had started. We will move to the next query and allow you time to settle in the environment. I'm told people who come to Parliament normally fear and get anxiety when they get here, especially the basement. And it was deliberate that we bring you to the basement so that we get the truth out of you. Okay. The difference is that you will explain in English. We are not yet there at Luganda. Yes, on the outstanding arrears, domestic arrears, Mr. Kigenyi, you can see the finding of the Auditor General. They are not favorable. The finding is not favorable. Would you explain to us?
Honorable Chair, the portfolio of our arrears grew exponentially from 79.3 billion to 231.7. This arose from the fact that an old loan attracted by Kcca remained on the books of account of the value of $20.7 million. Kampala Capital City Authority sought to write off this date and wrote to the PSST, who advised that this be kept on the books of account, and the net effect of this is that when recognized, it had a tipping effect. In addition to this, Honorable Chair, we had outstanding obligations due to the project ended of KIDP, KIDP 2 and KCRP, which have tipped the balance severely. That is the reason we now find ourselves with a portfolio much higher than the previous financial year.
You see, even what you're talking about did not provide a solution. The debt remains and continues to grow. Now, whether you have this extended hand from the PSST or not, even away from those ones, there is growth, exponential growth, astronomical actually, in your domestic arrears, and you budget every year. You do not only receive from us in the central government, you also collect. Let's go and interrogate the others from the financial statements themselves. One of them is compensation for labor, which I term to be salaries and allowances. Would you join me in looking at page 55? Of your financial statements? Lord Mayor, do you have a copy? Or you need my help? You need help? Okay. And Deputy? Good. Look at the items that comprise or that contribute to the arrears we are talking about. Look at compensation to employees. Prior commitments paid during the year is 9.6. Then you got new outstanding commitments from 9.679 to 20 billion. And then the total cumulative, here I see, 22.461. Now, those who have studied accounts more and better than me, does this refer to employee salaries and allowances? Yes, my auditor has confirmed my knowledge of it. How can you have arrears in respect of compensation to employees? Do you plan? Do you budget? Why don't you pay your workers? Mr. Chigenyi?
Honorable Chairman, this actually related to a statutory obligation of pay as you earn.
But is it pay as you earn? Is pay as you earn a tax?
It is.
But there are taxes and other deductions, which shows 00 on the same page. Just go down there. Would you want to consult?
Director Treasurer, please.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, when we deduct pay, is done on the payroll, so it is part of the compensation to employees because that is where it is budgeted. And when we are classifying as arrears, it has to be under that category. Yes.
Then, so taxes and other deductions you don't owe?
No.
So who do you owe this 22.4 billion to?
That's the major URA.
And the other is NSSF?
NSSF, we have tried our level best to clear.
Have you cleared?
Yes, we have.
Can we have evidence of that clearance?
Okay, Chair.
Because that one is also a matter of concern because it is money belonging to citizens who are supposed to earn interest. So how much do you earn? Because you used the word majorly URA. How much do you owe URA in terms of deductions?
Last year under the main establishments was around 16.5. Then under second, I don't recall, but there was also a figure because the money for wages has not been enough. We thank your effort because at least this time, this financial year, it has been enhanced, and I don't think we shall have similar problems. I think that's how it has accrued.
Okay, I think this is how we're going to deal with it. You're going to write and give us a breakdown of what you owe URA and what you owe the others and what you call the primary and secondary. That one is rather confusing. I thought when you're budgeting salaries or employee compensation, you include that component of URA. And one would imagine that when you pay, you also pay to URA. Is this money not attracting interest and penalties?
Chair, the ideal situation was to have it fully paid, but the wage bill which we have been having has been not covering the wage bill we have. We had many people to pay than the money which was available. That's why the prioritization has been the net pay, NSSF, deductions like Kcca, other deductions. Then if there is a balance, we pay URA.
When I look at this growth from 9.679 billion, then it has a second one, the following column, which shows new outstanding commitments incurred during the year. On the face of it, what it carries is that you made new commitments. So how would you make new commitments without ascertaining whether you have the funding, particularly if those commitments relate to recruitment? I thought recruitment, first of all, you first get clearance from Public Service Commission and Ministry of Finance, and they commit that the funds will be available. Yeah, it is true. Whatever the chair says is true. Okay.
Chair, in addition to what you are saying,
yes,
it's very true.
Okay. Mr. Kigenyi, you get my point, and I hope you agree with me. Before you make new commitments relating to recruitment, the first thing you must do is to seek clearance from public service. The second is to seek clearance from Ministry of Public Service before you recruit. Now, I hope that the employees are fully paid. I don't want us to get into the situation of last year, where we see people on the streets who beating us with their brooms.
Yes, they are fully paid.
Okay. Yes.
Chair.
I will start from the Honorable Nangoli, then Honorable Cooper, Honorable Itungo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I wanted
Peter?
to ask
and the Deputy Chair
about the cumulative outstanding commitments, especially with URA. I wanted to think for clarification whether they have MOUs with URA, because I know, to the best of my knowledge, when you have this kind of figure, URA will always engage you to enter into an MOU and agree how to settle this. Maybe they give you a payment plan, you agree with them how you should settle it so that it does not attract what? Penalties and interest. Do you have this on file? You can give us as evidence so that it helps us when it comes to report writing. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. On the question that you asked, Deputy Director, about whether they are up to date with the payment salaries, just last week after we broke off ceremoniously, we got calls from some of the temporary staff that they have not been paid for June, and I don't know now what July has also passed, so I don't know. So would you want to confirm that all the staff, both permanent and temporary, have been fully paid to date? Because we got those calls. I will ask the others, let us finish with that, but Chair, I have others on the arrears.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, we are dealing with arrears.
Okay.
Please ask and we move to the next person.
One clarification is when you look at the arrears, I need some light to be thrown on, when you look at that page 55, on land, property, plant and equipment, there is arrears of 58.2 billion. What was that? What does that relate to? On page 55. And then this issue on court awards. I remember in the last interaction again, there is this issue of the outdoor advertising. I have seen here, court award, we awarded 6.5 billion, you have paid about 500 billion. And this was, I remember, where we had warned you, but also at that time, the Lord Mayor had brought up, said, we had issues over this matter. We said there are no regulations, we could not, but that accounting officer then, I think, proceeded with, and we cautioned Kcca regarding this matter. We want to know now whether the law, the regulations have been put in place, because we had this agreement, the Lord Mayor saying for us we did our part. The accounting officer then was saying no, we never received. So we would also want to know what the status is. Of course, we would have gone ahead that that person, according to Article 164, that person are liable, but of course, there have been some sanctions. Of course, they are no longer in the office, but we would want really to know what is happening now. Thank you, Chair.
Could even be beyond jurisdiction. Okay. Honorable Itungo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chair was following up when I made an additional statement on what you are saying, that it is very true for any recruitment, you must have a clearance from both public service and Ministry of Finance. And Chair, I just want that clearance as an evidence that he was cleared by both ministries.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Chair, I also want to thank you and thank the committee and also Kcca that now we are moving together, and the mayor is now, Lord Mayor is here. That is actually, we are moving in the right direction. And this is what Parliament has been calling for, that we need to create synergies and create a harmonious environment, because this city belongs to all of us. Back to domestic areas, I want the ED to really explain, because the domestic areas take the first call. Whenever you are budgeting and you are supposed to pay out, domestic areas are supposed to take the first call. Why do we continue accumulating this? Look at court cases, and I am seeing part of this domestic areas, we have 200,000 for the Lord Mayor. Really, can we continue having this on our books of account? 200,000 for the Lord Mayor. Why don't we pay off this as part of this? You will continue accumulating these court cases. And what steps have you taken on people? Sometimes you find that these court cases are a result of negligence on part of our employees. What have you done to cure some and even settle others out of court? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, for the opportunity. I can see the road mayor, I think, is looking for where the money is. But when you go to page 87 of the financials, you can find the legal costs that they haven't paid 200,000. So I can give an offer to the Kcca and this money is cleared.
Oh. But you know it has
page 87.
It has got to be paid through certain procedures. You do not donate from here. Oh, you want to pay him right away. And we close. And what happens to his lawyers? Supposing he doesn't pay his lawyers, maybe you should send the money to his lawyers. All right?
And my concern is on compensations to employees. Chair, when you go to page 83, you look at the gratuity payable. People like Ochang Richard, they are demanding 40 million. And one of the officers said that it's about NSSF and taxes. But when you look at this gratuity, page 83, page 82 to 83, there's gratuity of almost to page 84. 2.3 billion. And then there's also T3 salaries. I can see Mbabazi, Priska, Nikita Boni is demanding 4.5 million. I think, Chair, I wanted the clarification for whether this man has been cleared. If it's cleared, we want evidence over this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's have answers to those, and then we hear from the Lord Mayor. At least we have been assured that up to last evening, you were working together to generate a new document in form of what has been brought this morning. Let's have those answers, questions answered. I had one which also related to, required the answer of the Lord Mayor, one to do with ordinances and how you collect money from our citizens. That will be the last, and it will be answered alongside your statement. Mr. Kigani?
Honorable Chair, I'd like to affirm that salaries were paid for all staff and political leaders in the authority up to the end of June.
Chair, which June? Which June?
There was a question that Honorable Elijah Okupa did answer. They did ask, and I'm answering to it. And I confirm. I also want to say that the page 83 that the Deputy Chairperson referred to were pension gratuities, not salary per se.
But page 85.
You would also want to tell us if this has not been paid and why.
The salaries outstanding were paid, as well as the gratuities.
You're sure?
Yes, we can. True. Of those that are highlighted here, there's nothing. All of these were paid.
Chair, I'm sorry, maybe this is conflicting, but I'm happy to learn that you have paid gratuity. Other people have not been paid to date. And where is he? He's aware. Ezra is also aware. You also aware. Mine is not paid.
Honorable Swambi, would you want to address the meeting through me and through the microphone I gave you?
I'm sorry, Chair. I don't want to be a witness because I have many issues here, but gratuity has not been paid.
But the moment you access the microphone,
Chair,
you relay.
Yeah, Chair, thank you very much. I don't think gratuity has been paid because personally I've not been paid and have been following. So,
He's one of the victims.
So maybe in the outstanding.
Even my own members are owed money.
Including the road mayor who is here.
Even the Lord Mayor himself. Now that the Lord Mayor is a witness, he will tell us. Honorable Swambi has told us he has not been paid.
Honorable Chair, pension gratuity has been paid.
To staff and political leaders?
To staff.
Well, not political leaders? Yes. Why don't you pay your political leaders? Or you want to disable them in the next election? Actually, Honorable Swambi was not a political leader. He was your staff.
I thought this arrears is a combination of both the political and
all arrears.
Yeah, all arrears. So when he says all have been cleared, yet it's not true.
Actually, the statement that he first made was staff and political leaders. I think that's the statement that came.
Yes, I did say staff and political leaders' salaries were paid.
Or salaries?
Yes.
Yes. They are paid to date?
Yes. July has not been, we have not paid anybody at the authority their July because of system issues between the ministries of public service and the Ministry of Finance, which have now been resolved, and we are setting ourselves in motion to have.
So when do you intend to pay them? Because some of them owe us money.
Give them a call at the end of next week.
No, you must give me a call and say you attack. Okay. Yes, continue.
There were other questions, Honorable Chair.
Why haven't you paid political leaders? You've not answered that.
But also still, because this arrears is a,
because they are arrears.
It's a combination, and you said it's all been cleared. But again, we are getting from the political leadership that the political have not been paid, because here is the total of both the staff and political leaders. So do you like to correct or rephrase that statement? That
no, he can choose to substantiate and prove that I paid them.
You can prove.
You can prove that you paid them. And you know, with payment, it's a question of document.
Mr. Chairman, I will give space to the Director of Treasury Services to supplement and make corrections on what kind of pensions and gratuities still owe.
Okay. And you show them to us where they are in your financials.
He will demonstrate where he
Yeah, that's perfect. That's why you came with a long army of men and women. Only
There was a question on the floor about...
So I thought Chair would clear that first. Dispose this off.
Okay.
Before we go to
Let me invite
Director Treasury Services. Have you come with their money? You could pay them from here as a witness. Yes.
Chair, we have paid all the, I will echo what the Deputy ED has said. We have paid all salaries up to June. July, the first batch has gone today because we had the movement from NDP 3 to NDP 4, which called for setup of cost center users. And that process has taken some time, but we always pay salary in time. And even the Lord Mayor bears me witness on that one. Will commend me on that. So that one we have been paying in time, save for this month. For the areas of gratuity to the former staff of Kcca, which had accrued during this period, all has been paid. But it keeps on accruing, and we pay according to the availability of funds in the budget. So you may find that we have paid some that had accrued last financial, which we are concluding, and there will be some still outstanding, which will be awaiting for release of funds from the ministry in this financial year to clear them.
I thought especially pension is paid to that person who has served you, served the country, has no means for them to survive in their old age. What do you expect them to eat, survive on, if you don't pay them?
Chair,
pension is budgeted.
Chair, pension, the moment you go under payroll, we start paying you there and then. So it is the issue of gratuity, which may be a challenge when we don't have funds.
You see,
but with pension, we have paid them up to date.
Even gratuity is statutory, and non-payment is non-compliance. And for me, when they bring you before me that you have not complied with the statute, I hold you to be an illegal operator. Why? You budget for it. You receive the money both from outside and the money you collect. You know, including from us who are not Kampala residents. You collect our money. By the way, when did you last send money to Wachiso for local service tax?
Chair, the money we collect all goes to the consolidated fund. Doesn't come back to us. So we also get indicative planning figures like other ministries. So much as we collect, it goes on the consolidated fund.
So you want to assure me that my local service tax has been remitted to Wachiso?
I can't guarantee that one, because once it goes to the consolidated fund, my hands are off.
Okay, you don't touch it.
Yes.
Yes? Even Kashari,
Mr. Chairman, no. Chair, for us, we have a city and we are doing well with the city. Chair, I just want to bring this to your attention, the gentleman in charge of Treasury. You are not being honest when you are talking to us. First of all, you tell us, where do you have a problem? How can we come in? Because our colleague here is telling you he has not been paid, and it's this side. So where is the problem? Even in your responses, you can hear. So you tell us, where is the problem? Are you the problem or the problem is somewhere? Otherwise, if you start saying we shall get money, we are doing this, we are not getting a solution. And the same query will appear in the next audit query. So I think you need to be honest, us, and say, if the problem is finance, we still have powers to invite Minister of Finance here and explain. But if you just say we shall do this, this query cannot be dropped, I can assure you.
And it will continue recurring. We know that you get some of the money from central government. So for those areas where you have arrears that are meant to be paid, or you are constrained by non-payment from central government, you indicate in your write-up. I think it's better that way. Mr. Chigenyi?
On the issue of domestic carriers.
Yes.
It is true domestic carriers should attract the first call on the new budget. But domestic carriers are also specifically provided for in the budget. And where it is insufficiently provided, we can only pay up to the level that is being availed to us. That, in effect, is one of the reasons domestic arrears keep hovering around us. If we looked at the portfolio for last financial year of 213, we have only been provided in the current financial year 39 billion. That will also not be sufficient. We can only reduce on the portfolio, but we are at a risk of having this money growing because some of these resources attract an interest.
The chair, are we invaded or by order?
No, don't
order.
worry.
Order.
The member is not Al-Shabaab.
Sergeant at arms.
The member is the Honorable Alhaji Asuman Basalirwa, Member of Parliament for Bujiri Municipality. He has authority to be here, dressed the way he's dressed.
Sure.
Because it is Juma, from here he will go and pray.
And Mr. Chairman, our rules of procedure, rule number 10, when the president is in the house, he must be heard in silence.
Honorable Keyo?
Thank you,
I hope for you are going to be relevant. Okay, I trust you'll be relevant.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Chair, I wanted to refer to the last statement of the ED, where he says that actually once the arrears, the money is released, like he's saying 39 billion for arrears, has he ever written back to Minister of Finance? Because you really indicate to them that this is the money you gave us and it is not. Have you been engaging Minister of Finance regarding the arrears? Because as they continue accumulating, now like these loans you are saying is part of the arrears, the two old loans, they continue accumulating interest. What efforts have you taken, and is there any evidence in writing that you have tried to engage the Minister of Finance indicating that these arrears are deadening our books of finance?
Yes.
Honorable Chair, this is true. We have continuously engaged the Ministry of Finance about the need to receive resources to clear our arrears portfolio. Unfortunately,
what form of engagements?
We have written letters. We have
would
made
like
pleas in meetings.
Would like to see some of the letters.
We can share.
Monday.
We shall gladly share.
Yes. You're done? Is that all you have on arrears?
Chair, no. The question I raised on arrears, I said, can I get explanation on that arrears of land, property, plant, and equipment, which relates to 58.26 billion? because when I try to look at the breakdown on page 54, you look at page 55 and then page 154, because I thought it was that, but they are not. It's not the same. The totals are different. Could it be, is it something? Do you have another explanation to that?
55.
Where you have the on arrears,
Yes,
land,
and
property, plant, and then you go and look at the explanatory notes on page 154. When you get there, there's a total of 58.8. So there's a difference of 631 million. So it cannot be the same. Or they don't relate to that.
Total domestic arrears balance as at June 2024.
Yes.
Then you go to page 54. Did you say 54? 5.
55.
Yes.
And then 154.
The beauty is the person who signed them is also in the house.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
At page 154, the balance is 58 billion 898 million 536 628,628 shillings. At page 55, it is 58 billion 267 million 243,315. I think there is a reconciliation matter that was missed on this.
In other words, you agree that the figures are not matching
Yes,
and
I
rhyming?
Yes, I agree.
So in your written explanation, you've got to bring the two together to speak the same language.
Thank you.
Okay.
Chair.
Yes, Deputy.
When you look at the same page 55, we look at goods and services consumed. That is of 87.7 billion. And when you go for the details, page 127, when you look at the details of goods and services consumed, page 127, when you look at on the top of that page, supply and installation of solar street lights along section of Serena Hotel and the Chintu Road for the NAM project. Of that is what was supposed to be paid, 184 million. No any single coin was paid. We need to confirm whether this money was cleared and an evidence over this. And there are other services which we are goods and services which we are consumed, totaling almost to.
Would you want to tell us the cost of a street light, just one solar light? Break down the figures. Yes,
May I invite Engineer Kankwasa to give me backup?
Thank you, Honorable Chair and members. The cost of street lighting, solar, which is composed of the panel, the battery, and the power and the base, is approximately to the tune of 8 million. 8
million?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some items are imported, definitely.
Chair, that is true. Maybe it explains why most of your lights are not functional. It's too low. have just been in revenue as I got out.
No, that's not true, Honorable Swambi.
Huh? 8 million. Sir.
The reason as to why they are not, some are not functioning could relate to faults which relate to inability to do proper checks, because I have one in my compound I procured at a much less than that one, and it is functional. So the reason can only relate to the quality of
the light.
Yes.
It is true, Honorable Chair. We procure some of these things for our places.
Especially those of you without electricity.
Yes. All my landing sites.
Yes.
In fact, I light all these.
You procure them at how much?
Less than 4 million ceilings.
Yeah.
And they have worked. They have worked. I'm now consuming 5 years in the house. And they are.
No, I think the reason it is higher is because it is government buying.
The procurement and what?
Yeah. Anyway,
Chair,
we have his answer, and we are not doing a value for money. I asked the question. Yes, Honorable Tungo.
Chair, I've been attentively listening to the accounting office explaining on this query of outstanding areas,
Thank you.
domestic areas. But Chair, I want to bring your attention to page 2 of the Auditor General's report.
2?
Yes. On page 2 of the Auditor General's report, on that very query, Mr. Chairman. Chair, on that page, there is a recommendation by the Auditor General. And Chair, when you read the recommendation against the response, you really see that this query has not been answered. My view would be that their response should be in line with the recommendations of the Auditor General.
No, that's not entirely correct. You see, their answer is their answer. You will have occasion to mark whether the answer is right in your opinion or not. The Auditor General advised them to always ensure that sufficient budget provisions are made to set outstanding domestic arrears and to strictly adhere to the government commitment control system to avoid risk of overcommitting government. Now there are two elements here. Just a minute. There are two elements here. There is the element of ensuring they make adequate budgetary provision, the budget. The question is, the next question is, who gives them the money? We all know that there are times you make budget and the budget is not funded, especially if it is funded by government. That's why I told them in their write-up to separate the two. Where they failed, they budgeted and government did not give them the money. And then from their own money, because I think from what he explained, even the money they collect goes straight. They do not touch it. It comes back. And now when it comes to release, it is government that releases the money. That's why I wanted them to be clear on which particular item, so that we also know who to deal with. Yeah, I think let's not forget that there is that system, that the system changed. Kcca previously would collect money and put in their bag. Now these days, they just send the money to the government. For them, they bill. The government collects. Then the government sends them the money. So it now becomes a question of how much is released to them, just like other MDAs. Okay, we won't lose sight of that. I will now invite the Lord Mayor. Yes?
I think again he was yet to answer on the issue of the outdoor.
Part of it goes to the Lord Mayor. So it is the Lord Mayor who will do the opening, then we roll back downward.
Yes.
Because it is the Lord Mayor's tax. So let the Lord Mayor tell us how he collected taxes illegally. Lord Mayor, would you introduce your team and also make your statement? One, the general statement. First, you have been committed that at least up to yesterday, you were agreed and that what the latest submission we have has your input. And two, as in relation to your executive function of bringing ordinances for proper tax collection and orderliness. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair and honorable members. First of all, we kindly ask you to accept our apologies for having come late, but it was not intentional, Chair. I am with my team here, my deputy, the Honorable Our Worship, Doreen Nyanjura, and I have my two ministers here, the state ministers or secretaries, Namazi Olive, who takes the docket of social services, and Hakim Kcca, who is in charge of administration and legal affairs.
Chair, can we see them? Where are they?
The Honorable Namazi is here.
Record.
Isn't she Nalongo?
Starting with the deputy.
You know, you don't demote people. We work hard to acquire titles. Okay, Doreen.
Thank you so much, Chair. I'm an aspiring Nalongo. My name is Doreen Nyanjura, and I am the Deputy Lord Mayor.
And to the ministers, give them a mobile microphone so that we could hear them. We could have ministers who cannot speak.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Chair. My name is Kcca Hakim Saula, City Minister in charge of Human Resource, Administration and Legal Affairs.
Okay.
Chair, thank you. My name is Nalongo Namazi Olivke, and I'm the City Minister for Social Services.
Yeah, so that one is already Nalongo. Okay, Lord Mayor.
Thank you, Chair. I was explaining one of the reasons why we came late. We are trying to go through the updated version of the responses, which was given to us this morning by 9. We got it at around 9, and we had to to go through this, and we realized we were running short of time. We hadn't finished actually looking at the responses given, whether they captured the concerns and what we had earlier agreed upon. Yes, I've heard that there's a commitment made by the ED that as of evening yesterday, we are at par. I want to place a caveat on that. Yes. Yes, indeed, we have been having marathon meetings at Kcca level, some chaired by myself and others presided over by my deputy. But we hadn't finished, Chair. We are still going through some of these issues, and only that we didn't want to bog down the work of this House. We had to agree to appear today. That's why we didn't seek for any adjournment to allow us more time to go through the same. But we haven't fully harmonized. And again, to be on record, by way of a disclaimer and a caveat, there are areas where we have not agreed, and we shall point them out. And indeed, even if you gave us a whole year, we wouldn't agree. Yes, we wouldn't agree. You'll permit us to give a different position on some of those issues as it will appear here in some of these matters. And I don't want to preempt the audit, what is going on. They will future when we come to solid waste management, as well as illegal construction in wetlands. There are those audit queries that were raised by the Auditor General, and we have serious concerns to raise here, which I thought we wouldn't harmonize internally. Having said that, in general terms, specifically to the questions raised here, Chair, in regards to outdoor, Chair, this is an enigmatic issue. It's a monkey which has haunted us for a very long time, and it continues to haunt us. It's a matter that was messed up by the former accounting officer, where illegal collections were made without following the processes of enactment, as you know the history of having a legislation in place. And it has really haunted us for a very long time. We've tried to address it, obviously with a lot of hiccups and challenges here and there, and we are yet to have it resolved. It is twofold. Now, one, the litigation, which resulted into an astronomical sum of compensation, which is still outstanding. That is one aspect. The other aspect is going forward, realigning now the revenue stream or the taxation, the operations of Auditor in accordance with the law. One is a policy matter, which falls squarely within my docket, and another one is for the accounting officer. Before I come to what is within my confines, the policy issue, we also have issues regarding that aspect of the compensation. Now we are talking about a debt portfolio of 231 billion as raised by the Auditor General. And the recommendation, I had the members saying we follow the recommendation of the Attorney and the Auditor General that we seek for adequate budget and whatnot. But there are questions that need to be answered here, Mr. Chairman. There are questions. Number one, Chair, I want to wrap it up. Number one, I still ask myself, who are the culpable individuals in the whole mess? Must the taxpayers be burdened with this huge cost of compensation when some individuals are smiling all the way to the bank? Who caused this mess? I think Parliament should come out and take action, stand action against the particular individuals. If it was incompetence or collusion or fraud, that must be interrogated. Some members are still within the institution who were around when this mess came up. They are still there. Others are out of it. But action must be taken against particular individuals. It's a lot of money that we are compensating back to NOACA, and the taxes we are losing because they were supposed to pay close to 4 billion. That is the revenue stream, 4 billion. Right now, as we speak, they are not paying even a single coin, and we are coughing through the nose to pay them. And the debt portfolio is increasing. Mr. Chairman, if you are to look at page, where's this in NOACA, where there's 6 billion, page 80. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Let's go to that case, Mr. Chairman. Page 87. Page 87. They will show you that the outstanding is 6 billion. Page 87.
88.
Huh? It's 88.
88.
88.
88.
Number 3.
6 billion, having paid 500 million shillings.
Yes. As we speak today, Mr. Chairman, we have a demanding note for 10 billion. As we speak today.
So it has increased?
As of,
because of interest?
I don't know. And last week, I'm told they went to court and sought for an order to freeze our accounts, to garnish our accounts. Or this week or last week, I'm just hearing rumors. But what is on record and it is documented, and I have a copy of the demanding notice, is 10 billion, 10 point something billion, if we are to come up with the actual figure.
Can you give us that copy?
Can you share with us, please?
Share with us that copy of the demand note.
I can cause the same. Actually, they have it. Management should be having a copy here. I can cause it to be brought. I have it. I can send somebody. Please, liaise with the team in the office to bring a copy of that demand notes. I have it. Mr. Chairman, so you keep asking, who is responsible for this?
That's what we're asking you as the head of the institution. Tell us.
And this is what I'm saying. We are still interrogating this matter. So and I've told the colleagues internally.
No, Lord Mayor, you're asking Parliament to do something about it.
Yeah, Mr.
You are the
Chairman.
head of the institution. You are still interrogating. Tell us.
Mr. Chairman, this is what I'm telling you. There are areas where we have agreed and the areas where...
Yeah, we are now on an area where you have not agreed.
Yes.
And it is of interest to us.
Mr. Chairman, personally, I've had issues with the Directorate of Legal
Affairs.
Directorate of Legal Affairs.
Okay.
Yes. And I've been on record.
Can I ask you to write to us and tell us, one, your views and who you hold accountable, for us to know the areas and the buttons to press, now that you...
I want to be on record on this, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
We have had it rough with the Directorate of Legal on some of these issues.
Because you see, for us, we cannot tell Parliament to issue a recommendation that the entire Directorate be penalized.
When it was earlier investigated by Parliament, they insinuated that the state executive had advised them not to appeal. That's what they insinuated, and that's what is on record.
Okay.
And we had to debunk this because our intervention as the state executive came in at a time when we were seeking for an out-of-court settlement. Initially, my advice was, actually not the advice, they were circumventing the process, the legislative process, because they never wanted to recognize the mandate of the Lord Mayor. And that's how they came up with that, those tariffs without going through the council, which I was presiding over as the speaker. They didn't come to that. So when they went to court, and I advised them, can't we have this matter settled? It wasn't settled. They went full-blown litigation. Now, when it came to payment, we said, can't you settle at least for something less? Can't we have this? Because do we have a defense? That was the question. Do we have a defense? Can't we have this matter settled for something less? Not those astronomical sums. So in the region of, say, 1 billion or 2 billion, something like that.
No,
so,
wait.
So, Mr. Chairman, that was never to be done, because I didn't want to go into the details, because I was telling you still handling it.
Procedure, Mr. Chairman.
Now,
the procedure, Honorable Kcca?
Yes. While we appreciate what the Lord Mayor is saying, he has committed to bring the demand note. But what he has been talking about, the disagreement with the legal department, is neither on this one, neither has he committed that he not show evidence that there is some disagreement. Wouldn't it be procedurally right for him also to undertake to bring those documents?
The primary evidence is what he's saying now. Where we want a document, we can ask for it.
But when he argues on a bar, we need a basis to...
Honorable Kcca, there is no bar here. The Lord Mayor is a witness. What he's saying is his evidence. Where we feel we can get a document, we can ask for a document.
Yes, evidence with facts,
but
yes.
we will, what he's telling us are his facts. You cannot stop him from giving you his facts. I think let's proceed. We are moving very well, thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Chair,
it's not the first
we are
time.
moving.
A brief
Yes.
one.
A brief one?
Yes. Chair, since 2022, yes, this matter has been coming up, and the Lord Mayor has expressed his reservations. We have changed the technical team or management, and the contractors are really getting money without any
Which
accountability.
contractor, Honorable Swan?
The company, is it?
This company is not a contractor, it's a litigator.
Okay, the outdoor, before litigation, they are still collecting because they got an injunction. So I think since
They are collecting?
the former accounting officer, yes, is here, and we've had recommendations by Parliament over the same matter, it would be quite unfair to have the Lord Mayor, though he is the head of authority, bringing this issue over and over, and us as Parliament, we are failing to come up with stern measures, because now they are claiming over 200 billion, and they are collecting almost 4 billion. They are unknown, untouchable. So we are really pinning the head of authority for nothing.
No, we are not
So
feeding
we are
him.
having...
Honorable Spambi, let me guide. We want to hear the Lord Mayor first. Then we will go to the
We've
next
had,
witness.
Honorable
Chairman.
for the last 3 years,
No.
he has been
You see,
over the same matter.
Honorable Spambi, let's hear the witness. We go to the next witness. We will exhaust this.
Mr. Chairman,
if we have not closed it previously, let's have a closure of it this time round.
Mr. Chairman, can I raise a small matter?
Yes, you raise it.
Mr. Chairman, you know your relationship between you and the road mayor, both historical and legal. Wouldn't it be procedurally right that you leave the chair and the vice chairs? Because there is a very conflict of interest. I thank you.
You see, a point of procedure cannot be answered by a point of order, even when the point of order is intended to defend me. I would want Honorable Kcca, a very senior member of this parliament, first of all, when you are using these terms, first to understand them. And it is imperative that you do. The conflict of interest envisaged under the rules, if you read the appendix, relates to a commercial or economic conflict of interest. If you find a person like Frank Russa and I have known each other for many years and are friends, literally every witness who comes here, I would not sit there because I know so many people. You know, the difference is that I was raised and brought up in the city, and I studied in Kampala. So I have so many friends who have studied here. So I have no conflict of interest within the law and bounds of common sense. Lord Mayor, please proceed. No, you know, that's the problem, because there are so many people here. This is the collection. So I know so many people.
Mr. Chairman, coming to the issue of the policy, we moved in earnest and at least made all efforts to have the law streamlined. We prepared the bill for an ordinance. We had to go through it in the council, in the SEC. We presented it to council. There was a lot of hullabaloo about it. Eventually, we did our best, to cut the long story short, to have the law passed. As required under Section 8 of the Kcca Act, we forwarded it to the Attorney General for clearance. It took some time before the Attorney General brought it back. So, incidentally, when it was brought back, the Attorney General had done the unthinkable. Because when you take a bill for scrutiny, the Attorney General has to ascertain whether it conforms to the standards, to the constitutional test and the written law. But what the Attorney General did is to rewrite it. Now I was pressed between a rock and a hard surface. Should I send it back to the Attorney General to do the right thing? I would be accused of some sinister motive. And the law had required that if the Attorney General had altered it, I would press it before council again. Now I had those issues. I took a decision and said, since the Attorney General has brought a document for me to sign, called the Outdoor Advertisement Ordinance for Kcca, let me sign it. I signed it, presented it to management, it was gazetted, and then it became law. So we started enforcing it. Immediately, management swung into action. No worker goes back to court. When they go back to court, all I heard when I was asking how far we had gone, the response given by management is that they got again another interim order stopping implementation of the same from court. And that's where we are. They are not paying any tax. We are supposed to pay them. They are actually harassing us to pay them. They are seeking to garnish our accounts, and they have got injunctions against us to collect. Of course, they have some support somewhere. And this is what I will ask Parliament to interrogate and investigate and see how we can get out of this conundrum, this quagmire we are entangled. That's all I can say about that. Mr. Chairman, regarding other issues.
Does the law stop you from stopping them? Because you see, if it says don't collect, supposing I also say don't advertise in my city.
Chair, if I may present now, the document is here.
You know, it is very hard to reach me. The difference between you, the distance between you and me is a huge one.
I want to lay it on table.
Chair,
you know what we do here? You read and you tell us what you're presenting.
What I'm presenting is miscellaneous, is a demand notice dated 21st July 2025, addressed to the Executive Director from Mesa Salak and the Company Advocates. And it's, that we have ascertained the prevailing outstanding debt as at 31st June 2025 to be approximately 10.1 billion. 10 billion, 150 million, that's what they are saying. This is to seek for your confirmation of the figures reconciled as directed by court. We trust that you retreat this matter with urgency it deserves and look forward to your favorable response. This is the communication as of that date.
Executive Director, are you in receipt of this?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Have you confirmed the figures?
I requested the legal affairs and the Treasury to reconcile and advise me.
Have they advised you?
I have not in receipt of the advice.
It is written 21st July and delivered to you on the same date. And now, okay, to the Lord Mayor at least, because this is a Lord Mayor's copy. Kampala Capital Store? Yes, Lord Mayor's office. Wait, let me have this question answered. Have they come back to you? Legal Director, Legal? Would you tell us whether he's trying to consult?
No, it's not WhatsApp. Thank you very much, Honorable Chairman. Just to clarify, it was not WhatsApp. I was checking my email to make sure that we have reconciled the figure in the ED in reaction to that letter she received, requested us as legal to work with Treasury to reconcile the figures to see if they are in tandem with what Messrs. Alaka and Company were saying. And the document that I'm looking at, which is our position, or which is the position as of 30th June, says that July, the outstanding, the principal is 8.228774, 8,228,774,384 shillings, and the outstanding interest is 1,468,980,820.
How is the principal 8 when we have 6 here? And when it was originally 6.5?
So this is the reconciliation that has come out of that.
Yes. You see, principal is the decreto amount.
Yeah.
Anything above that is either costs or interest. So how can the principal now be 8 when originally it was 6.5? Because let's read the number 3 as it is. Okay. The National Outdoor Advertising Contractors Association Limited, NOACA, challenged through judicial review the charging of outdoor advertisement fees by Kcca through its outdoor advertising fees policy passed by its council under that minute. published in the Uganda Gazette. Okay, payment of judgment decretal sum. Okay, decretal sum was 8.228. Interest 327. And then okay. So the balance here is 6.5. Does that mean there was some payment before arriving at this 6.5? Right?
You put on the microphone.
Chair, we have been paying, but the original sum was 8.2 billion shillings, but we have been paying and it reduced to 6.5.
But now it has gone back to 10.
That's now
because of interest.
Because of the interest and legal.
Checking on to end with my now some bit of knowledge of law. Why wouldn't you negotiate at least to arrest interest? Because you can imagine after paying 2.5 something, then it is back to 10.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Honorable Kwizera.
Mr. Chairman, I am looking at the Auditor General's report.
Yes.
Page 88.
88?
Yes.
Yes, that's where I am.
Yeah, when you look at the opening balance of 6.5 billion, there is a payment that was made of 500 million. So when the road mayor talks about now the 10 billion, it means this interest is beyond the accounting period, which they would help us separate, because we are dealing with the accounting period ending June 2024.
Yeah, that, Honorable Kwizera, that is entirely true.
Yes.
But Parliament cannot close its eye because of the
what I'm
accounting
saying,
period.
they should help us to separate those accounts, because the addition on top of 6 billion, the Auditor General may not have.
Yes, but I'm going beyond that, because beyond technicalities. And can't we deal with the whole issue? One, negotiate the interest of, because if at some point we are dealing now with 6 billion, but beyond the accounting period, we are now talking about 10 billion.
Yeah, but Mr. Chairman, this is where now the RUSA comes in to tell us what is the problem. The road mayor is talking about 10. The documents are talking about 8 or 6. So why can't they help this committee?
Frank, RUSA, I think let's do it this way. These are matters of figures, okay? Let the ED go back and give us that details that Honorable Kwizera is talking about, including how much you paid, when, interest. We are not losing sight of how we got here. Honorable Swambi.
Much, Chair. This is quite disheartening. The Lord Mayor, as the authority and council, are raising two issues. The issue of figures emanates from the issue of the contract and policy. After going through what you went through and his presentation here to the ordinance, you go to implement the ordinance, and the same character, I don't want to say client, because I even don't know whether it's a client.
I think let's avoid the word character and say the same people.
The same people
or group
do go to the same court, which is an organ to handle such an issue. But it is clear, as a lawyer junior as I am, that this is not proper, whatever is going on. Then you get an interim order for you not to be taxed to pay, but you again now you must be paid. Are we condoning illegalities and fraud? So personally, I would wish to get an explanation from the legal team. If you are bosses, and you must know this, the authority is the Lord Mayor. For you and us, we are technical, we are implementers. But if the same people are using the law to their advantage, and we cannot collect, now they are also seeking money from the innocent taxpayers. What have you done as the head of legal to unravel this kind of thuggery and arbitrariness?
Unfortunately, you're asking a litigant, one litigant, and the other litigant is not in your committee. But for me, I don't want us to discuss the case because we have not seen the papers either. I did ask a pointed question. Can't you stop the advertising? Because this is your space. You know, they want to make money. And at least I'm fortified because stopping is not part of the court process. It is the collection. Where I say, it's okay, you don't want me to collect? Don't advertise here in my space. What do you want? Then you go on a negotiating table for them to be able to advertise. I want you to answer this question. Lord Mayor, Legal Department.
Chair, you are doing the right thing, like the way Trump is doing. That 100% tariff to force the person to negotiate with you.
I think what you wanted to say, the English of Casiro is well understood.
But you have not, I've not concluded, Chair.
You wanted to say that I'm doing the right thing as always.
But why are you going ahead of me before I go?
Chair.
Chair, that should be what Kcca should be doing in order to force these people to pay. Because they are making money, and now you know the season of politics. There's a lot of advertising. They are making a lot of money, yet they are denying Kcca, they are denying government money. So, and they want to be paid. And when the matter goes to court, when the one is put what they are crying for, they have again...
They exploit a loophole in your communication as government. Because it's a loophole in communication.
Yeah.
I don't know how it comes. I have my views on probably how that loophole comes, but they are exploiting it.
Yeah. But
Honorable Tungo, then Deputy Chair.
Chair, just supplement to what you are saying. I saw Kcca truck with some enforcement staff removing posters from all over that side of Kawempe and Saboro.
They were removing opposition posters. That's the difference.
I don't know, but if you can remove the posters of candidates, why don't you do
Let me
the
ask
same
for a
to
pointed question. Frank Rusa, I saw you actually, your trucks removing our posters. Do you have the power to remove posters on Kcca streets? Answer that. It is a yes or no.
We have powers to remove posters or even other advertising tools which are not in line with the law.
No, but Chair,
so why have you not removed?
Before he commits the institution, he's committing the institution.
No, he has answered my question. That's what
I wanted to explain what is going on.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman.
On the microphone?
Yes. Management tried to generate guidelines.
Yes.
On how posters are going to be displayed. Unfortunately, they made a mistake to write to the heads of political parties about these regulations and forwarded them. Draft which they were supposed to bring it to the State Executive Committee. They had an impression that posters are like any other developments in the state that require a permit from Kcca. They were citing the Physical Planning Act and the Building Control Act, those two acts.
Yes.
And we had occasion to discuss this internally, looked through it. Unfortunately, Mr. Rusa was not in that meeting, but the DED here was there and the entire management. They had invited the heads of political parties, secretaries general of different political parties for 7th to have this discussion. Now, Mr. Chairman, we discussed this thoroughly, and the person who stood in for the Directorate of Legal, Mr. Caleb, confirmed it to us in the meeting that actually those laws are not applicable. So it's not entirely true that we have that mandate as because they were using that Physical Planning Act and the Building Control Act to pull down the posters and the NEMA Act. So we agreed in that meeting of the State Executive that anything to do with the enforcement of those guidelines should be halted, and we are going to have a meeting internally on 5th as Kcca, the state executive, presided over by myself. We agree on the proper interpretation of the law and the proper guidelines before we can have any meeting with the leadership of political parties on 7th, so that we harmonize our position. So whatever is presenting...
Do you want to assume that everybody putting up a poster belongs to a political party?
We were engaging different political stakeholders because that's what management... We are trying to arrest a process that had been initially started by management because we were not privy to that. They communicate... Actually, personally, I wouldn't sanction that kind of interaction. But since they had started on the process, we said, okay, fine. How do we harmonize? How do we address it? I've told you even that letter I wasn't copied in. I just got this, my own communication from the ED on Friday last week. That's how it came to my office. And we had to attend to it very urgently. So when we were discussing the outdoor ordinance, we made it categorically clear that as the authority, we have no powers to regulate the pinning of political posters. We don't have that mandate. The other thing we agreed on, Mr. Chairman, you were asking the question, can't we pull down those billboards? I said this in the meeting, and the ED is here, and said if we were to enforce order in the city, and we have these billboards, which are not paying taxes, and they are collecting a lot of money. They are using our own facilities. Actually, many of them erected their billboards within our land, on our land, in the road reserves, drainage reserves, and whatnot. We can invoke those acts, the Physical Planning Act and Building Control Act, and pull down those billboards. It's possible. So that's what it entails.
That way, you would be able to sit on a round table and say, can you waive part of this? Can we agree going forward? Even invoking land law, because that is trespass. Yeah, okay. We cannot continue like this. Deputy Chair?
Chair, I wanted a clarification from either ED or the road mayor. It's related to outdoor advertising. When you move around the city, I see billboards which reads Kcca welcomes His Excellency Kaguta Museveni to Kampala. We want to confirm, are these billboards were done by Kcca or the President is welcoming himself in Kampala? If it was done by Kcca, you did it from which account or from which budget? Because we are here before us, there are so many domestic areas. Is it going to be part of the domestic areas for the next financial year? We need clarity on this. That's what I wanted.
Chair, you put a question to the Lord Mayor. Some of us are independent members of Parliament, and we're also going to have independent presidential candidates. Now you are writing to the Secretary Generals of political parties. Where do you put us?
For you, will be put in Kasiro. The authorities in Kasiro will deal with you.
You are not aware that I'm going to be a presidential candidate.
I'm not aware.
I can now tell you.
Okay. Deputy Chair, you have pressed and placed me between the rock and the hard place, but it's not mine. So Lord Mayor, tell us about that budget, whether the President was welcoming himself. No, the President is not Kcca, so he could not have received and welcomed himself in the city. Lord Mayor, when you put up that thing, whose budget were you encroaching on?
I think that comes squarely to the accounting officer. I have no idea. We have not, at least we have not discussed it in SEC. And at some stage, I had also intended to ask management to account for the same at an appropriate time.
The money?
Yes. To explain on which vote and how they came up with that advert and so on. And so forth. So that one, the ED. But
answer the member's question.
The other one, Chair, about independence and
about independence
and the processes, Mr. Chairman. For us, as the State Executive Committee, our position is that we do not have that mandate actually to regulate the pinning of posters unless we implement the outdoor advertisement ordinance, which has been halted. So we have no legal tool to guide us on regulating posters. Our position is that posters are not buildings which require building permits. Because even permits go through, the approval of permits go through a process.
Okay.
The Act creates two bodies, the Physical Planning Committee under the Physical Planning Act and the Building Committee under the Building Control Act.
But we have seen you bringing down posters.
That is totally illegal, Mr. Chairman. That is the issue, the bone of contention we have internally. And we are saying that is totally unacceptable. And we agreed to bring that to a halt until we clear the position.
ED, which budget power to remove posters and the power to bring down billboards?
Honorable Chair and members, in writing to the Secretaries Generals of the political parties, we had noticed a growing concern of an increase in posters of various materials placed in various places, some of them in dangerous places. We thought that in arresting that situation, we would have an engagement with the Secretaries Generals so that they can communicate to the political parties about the need to have an organized manner in which these advertising materials and campaign materials would be utilized. That was what we were envisaging. And we are alive to the fact that without regulation, this is going to be a rather difficult situation to manage. That was the intention. That was the intention.
Sorry, I was arresting an escaping suspect. Yes, proceed.
And we know that if we address this matter to the Secretaries General, we can have a position which can then be applied even to independent candidates, because the issue is to find a formula of how we can behave in this process.
The fear is that you always suffocate politicians. I don't know why this country hates politicians. When a politician is organizing a political meeting, the police will come and batter you up. When someone is organizing a crusade, nobody would fight them. I thought the right thing, in light of what you talked about, is for you to put instructions on particular areas which you think are dangerous to put posters. But you must reserve some freedom for citizens. Whether you like it or not, this is a political season. But for you to simply say, no, we'll put down posters, and you target particular colors, what will you do when that color you're targeting one day takes over? We do not want, you know, some of us who have been around, we do not want to see people running out of their country because you traumatized them at a particular time. You had the issue of your budget as you were welcoming. As you were welcoming the president. Just tell us the budget item and answer the member's question, and then I'll guide you.
We have no dislike for politicians because we are also voters, Mr. Chairman, Honorable Chairman, to comfort you. On the issue of the posters in question, those must have been posters printed in gratis because we have not sanctioned those and we have not caused any entry on the coffers of Kcca.
Just used your name.
Mr. Chairman, can I get some clarification?
That is
Mr. Chairman.
That is his answer. Yes, Honorable Kcca.
Mr. Chairman, the road mayor, who is a celebrated lawyer, says that there is no ordinance to regulate what they are out to do. I see some conflict. So when you are writing to the people who are going to advertise, what is guiding you as the technical people?
Before he comes in, it has been a bone of contention. That's one of the contentious issues we have there. Management created a body called Outdoor Advertising Committee. And I've always questioned it. It's coming now to 10
Created
years.
by law or created by what?
Without any
Administratively.
Administratively. That there is that committee which is regulated, and they allocate space. They do some allocation. And in most cases, they have been doing it arbitrarily.
What sanctions do they provide?
Which sanctions? You see, at some stage, they would even cut down some of those poles. They would just come and cut them down. And we have been dragged to court.
Lord Mayor,
yes.
What's the membership of this advertising committee?
The members, initially, I think the long-serving member was called Musimenta from the Directorate of Legal. Musimenta, I don't recall the other name, but I don't know whether he's part of us. Management will let us know. The name Musimenta sends chills down our spines in the institution. I must tell you. Musimenta.
No, is Musimenta.
Musimenta. Musimenta. Musimenta. Actually, how can I appreciate the Lord? I think that's what it means. This gentleman was the Alpha and Omega for the allocation of sites. All those big billboards you see there, just say you can erect your billboard there. For you, I can bring it down. And you would cut down those billboards arbitrarily. And this is what gave rise to that case of Nwaka. Problematic. It was problematic. 2017, 2018, very problematic. And we told them, let's enact an enabling law, the ordinance. I'm here. They refused. So the board has been there. So management should account for it. What law did they invoke to put in place that committee to do the allocation?
Mr. Chairman, you asked about the committee and they referred to Musimenta, but
yeah, before Musimenta,
and other members.
The vice chair brought to my attention something which I want to send to the executive director to show you. Don't press very fast. I will not. No. Who is there, Edgar? Let me send this before it disappears to the executive director. The deputy chair tells me that is the kind of billboard that he was talking about. That one is not a Kcca billboard or advert?
But that's AI.
You have a budget for that?
Maybe we would want to give that committee to verify, that committee in charge of advertising, Musimenta, to verify that.
Should be on record.
Yeah, they are going to come on record. They are going to come on record. They are still looking at it. Please, the entire team, from the Lord Mayor to the last person, are looking at the advert.
Chair, for us who stay in Tinda, in the evening, you drive from Nakawa, then branch to as you branch to Spear Motors. There are adverts there, including even the portrait of the ED and His Excellency. Just drive at night, you'll see them, they're lit. Just
Okay.
from Nakawa,
Let
Miyamoto's
him
cross.
answer. Okay. Edie, do you have an answer?
Honorable Chair, I can confirm that we have not paid for any such advert. That's why I said they could be gratis.
Okay. Yes,
I'm
it was.
sorry. At times you want to cry for this country. How can a technical team receive any gift, gratis or whatever, without going through council? I think we have to come and teach you some bit of governance. For you implementers, you actually
Okay.
a pipeline. No,
Good.
Chair, we are
Yes.
having a big problem. That's why we are having confusion. The Lord Mayor is not seeking for glory to be honored, but it is just simple. You go through the relevant committee of council and you receive it. Not you as a technical officer, as you are going out, I give you some money and you go and implement. It could have some other connotations binding council. So you go through the relevant committee of council, it is represented, you will not even come here to be haunted. But you see, you believe that there is no council for you can do anything, you are away, and you cause kind of commotion. We are spending too much time, instead of discussing issues like Chirudu, we're discussing petty issues created by your arbitrariness. Yeah, and they are costing money. How do you receive something gratis without going through council? That's not allowed in public service, even regulation, and even common sense.
Yes, Honorable Basalirwa.
Chair, could there be a possibility that these posters welcoming Mr. Museveni were erected under pressure, that some invisible hand exerted pressure on the technical wing to have these posters? Because if the posters were erected gratis, as the ED says, then you have to invoke the laws on disclosure of gifts and IGG. You know, you don't receive something gratis just like that.
Beyond a particular measure.
Yes, beyond a particular amount. And when you look at those billboards, Chairman, they fall into that category that qualifies for disclosure.
That is if they are donated to who?
Even if it is an entity like them.
Even to an institution.
Yes, even if it's an institution like them.
Okay.
But assuming, Chair, that those billboards had vulgar messages, would the technical wing look on as they are there? Would it really happen? And secondly, Chair, the ED has said they've written to political parties to have an engagement. I want to understand the kind of discussion they intend to have will be guided by what legal framework? What guidelines are they going to give that are not grounded in law? What engagement will they be having if there are no specific sanctions? Maybe to try and understand and how they are going to avert any kind of violation.
Okay. I think now we will let them answer those questions up to exhaustion or extinction. Then we'll move. Shall we have answers, sir? ED?
Honorable Chair, I am aware that in many instances, outdoor materials, including campaign materials, are erected without the permission of Kcca. As is in the case for most of the materials that are on display in the precincts, in the boundaries of Kampala Capital City Authority. This could actually include the billboard in question that we did not have a hand in producing or buying. In the knowledge of this Honorable Chair, we thought that we needed to regulate and thought to say that since some of these are erected on very big structures, we could rely on the Physical Planning Act. Since many of these have been presented in a way that would be classified as litter, would rely on the NEMAR Act, since many of them also have voice and go well above the decibels allowable, would consider them as such. These we are doing in the knowledge that the efforts of Kcca to use the Outdoor Advertisement Act, Ordinance 1 of 2025 has been put on hold by the courts of law. We therefore thought we would use an approach of pointing the political authorities on the various laws that could be applicable and pray for their concurrence on some of these issues, because we have noticed issues that could also cause unnecessary rifts where some people place ads over others people's posters, deface other people's posters. And
for Electoral Commission, it's not yours. You know, when it comes to order in the city, I agree. You just liaise with those that are responsible. Otherwise, how do you end up enforcing the NEMA Act? That's not yours, or NEMA regulations. Anyway, I think I will allow you time to rethink and give us coordinated answers. Okay?
Yeah.
I have a big issue of how, are they called your trenches or whatever? Those
drainage channel.
The drainage channels. Before we will have a full interrogation of the drainage channel that you have donated. That's a different matter. It's a substantive one. The one where somebody is intended to build on the drainage channel, I don't want us to discuss.
Yeah, before you go to that.
Before that, go to the northern bypass towards Bwaise, Idi. That drainage channel that enters Bwaise, crossing from the Kawala, whatever, entering Bwaise.
But how have we ended that?
When you look at it, actually it comes out through Bwaise Kalerwe. And you know, you created that bypass that even our visitors using from Entebbe Express to the bypass entering the city would look at it. Does that scene really appeal to you? Two, how on earth in Kampala, the capital city of this country, do people still go throwing bottles outside car windows and you do not have an enforcement team? People, I don't know whether some people were taught to be filthy by their mothers. Polythene bags all over. Now you're trying, do you call it desilting? You're trying to clear it, you pour the soil outside, then the following day it goes back, and I will want you to give me a substantive answer on Tuesday with Mrs. Bozeki there. I adjourned this meeting to allow How the NRM people go for their caucus.
Well, Chair,
This
Chair,
meeting is adjourned to Tuesday at 10 o'clock.
before you become
Thank you very
as official, Chair. Anyway, it's time for Juma. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Chairman. It's time for Juma. Please be informed that the Friday prayers at Parliament are in the next room, just behind here. So don't smallerize the issue.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Praise the Lord. This is Pastor Ezekiel from Kenya. God is using him so mightily. He's a man of God.
For the biggest revival explosion, New Reference Center the Church presents a revival hearing crusade by Pastor and an international evangelist, Ezekiel from Kenya.
Shine, shine, shine. You shine and you shine. And just in the name of Jesus.
It will be held from 13th to 17th August 2025 at Zambia Chirombe Grounds, Kampala. Time 8 a.m. Come and take your miracle.
Ono musumba Ezekiel okuva Kenya, musajja wa Katonda, Mukama amukozesa. Mujje mu crusade egenda okubeera ekirombe, manye obulamu bwammwe tebugenda kusigala kyekimu. Mujje mu lukuŋŋaana. The Lord will seriously bless you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Registration fee: invite 3 friends to form a team of 4 and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
You got us on your wallet. Bobby, again! What's the drama?
Drama? Colleagues, elections for special interest groups are calling. SITs, elections. Youth, PWDs, elderly. It's time to vote for our leaders. June through August. From village to parish to district to nationals. Youth, PWDs, elderly. It's time, go vote your leaders. No! FOB! Elections are supposed to be peaceful. Easy vote, okay?
Youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the special interest group elections. Starting June through August this year. Your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
At UNOC, we believe in safety.
Mileke World Music Festival is back. Fast 2nd and 3rd August at the Tropical Beach Garuga, Entebbe. To get your ticket, dial *217*413#. Input the event ID 0706. Select ticket category. Input your PIN and you're set for the celebration. For more information, call 0752-833-111 or visit us on the web at www.mileke.org. Mileke World Music Festival is powered by UBC, inspiring Uganda.
This August, East Africa becomes the center of African football. Chan 2024 is here, and it's bigger than ever. 3 proud nations, Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, united by football, passion, and power. From the first whistle to the final roar, 35 thrilling matches, live, only on UBC TV and radio stations. Wherever you are in Uganda, from the city to the village, UBC brings Chan 2024 to your screen and your radio. August 2nd to August 30th, it's football like never before. 1 tournament, 1 region, 1 heartbeat. Chan 2024, live on UBC. Feel the game, live the glory.
Hello, hamjambo. My name is Twea. Welcome to Swahili with Twea. Let's continue looking at fruits. Tuendelee na kuangalia matunda. Chungwa. Chungwa. Orange. Shangazi anabeba machungwa. Shangazi anabeba machungwa. Auntie is carrying oranges. Limau. Limau. Lemon. Binamu yangu anachuma limau. Binamu yangu anachuma limau. My cousin is picking lemons. Ndimu. Ndimu. Lime. Mama ameleta ndimu. Mama ameleta ndimu. Mother has brought limes. Zabibu. Zabibu. Grape. Dada anakula zabibu. Dada anakula zabibu. Sister is eating grapes. Tomoko. Tomoko. Soursop. Kaka anashika matomoko. Kaka anashika matomoko. Brother is holding soursop.
See you again. Tutaonana tena.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Taxation is a bit complicated, and the only way to demystify it and make it as easy to understand and to comply with is through engagement. Is there a limit to the number of cars a returning citizen is bringing into Uganda? Who has paid the excise duty on this water is not the supermarket which has sold you this bottle at 1,000. It's not the business, it is the man who is going to drink this water. We strongly believe that it will only be through such constructive engagement that we'll be able to broaden our tax base and build our country together.
Buza Commissioner. Now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. Kumulanga gw'eggwanga ogw'okunyweza obukuumi ku nguudo, aba Good Product Group HGO brand batongoza mbutongole kaweefube gwe batuumye Rider Selecting Campaign. Kati osobola okwewandiisa ng'oyita ku kibanja kyabwe ekya www.riders.hgo.com. Weewandiise kati ofune omukisa oguwangula ebirabo ebyenjawulo okuli pikipiki n'ebirala ebisibiddwa mu bokisi ne reflector jackets eza HGO n'ekigendererwa eky'okutumbula envuga ennungi mu bantu. Eno y'engeri gy'osobola okwetabamu. Sasula ssente z'okwewandiisa, funayo mikwano gye 3 okukola ttiimu y'abantu 4. Olwo ssente ze mukozesezza okwewandiisa zijja kubaddizibwa. Tandika olugendo lwo olw'ekitiibwa kati. Tosubwa omukisa guno, weegatte ku nteekateeka eno. Tumbula engeri y'okwewala obubenje ku nguudo era ofuuke omuvuzi asoose okuvumbula ekipya. Okufuna ebisingawo, kyalira omukutu omutongole ogwa Good Product Group ku www.hgo.com oba kuba ku nnamba y'essimu etali yakusasulira noti 8 noti 33 55 55 oba bakyalire ku ofiisi zaabwe ezisangibwa ku Kingdom Kampala omwaliro ogwokusatu. Weewandiise kati owangula ebirabo bya buwanana.
You say that I blow his mind every time I'm activated. You just trying to catch a vibe. CC got you fascinated. Jump up on your brand new ride. BMW riding, baby. I ain't gonna tell you lies. That's just how
we run one of the biggest live audience TV shows in the land. Can't go with it, I got glory, glory, glory. Hey, now you tell me. Glory, glory, glory. Hey, can't go with it, I got glory. Now this involves a lot of prep, a reliable team of professionals. A stylist.
Everything for this life got balance. Evidently more gallant. Happiness deep inside of me and nothing fit to steal. If my job life, I'm a job. To the people that go talk. I don't need your validation. Steady on my way I pull up like a boss.
The artists.
Genda mu maaso continue.
Tekina tekikujjako obufukamira n'omwami w'ekyokunywa.
Bwe tuba nga bye tukola bibanyumira, you are welcome. Bwe bata bibanyumira, we are also doing our own thing. Thank you.
Nze omuntu gwenjagala temujja mumanya paka wanaakola ennyo ave mu gallery.
And so much more. We are Horizon Vibe, and there is no vibe like Horizon Vibe. Catch the latest in music, interviews, performances, and so much more every Saturday with me, Calvin the Entertainer, from 10 a.m. on this channel.
Amanya gange ndi tubona Kiranda Amina mu company Airweb Uganda Limited ndi member. Wemba member company eno weyeida twalinga tutuli bulungi ng'abakyala abe wakawaka. Abakyala abe wakawaka tuemera kuba amibe ife nga bonkana abajamu